Hey guys, Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the Las Vegas shooting. Hey guys, okay, so I'm going to talk about the Las Vegas shooting today. Happy Monday in the DMV area. We were supposed to get snow and it sleeted for a little bit, but it's primarily rain. So thank you, weather, for the frizz. The frizz is real today. I don't care. Okay, let's get started, guys. October 1st, 2017, Stephen Paddock, a 64-year-old man from Mesquite, Nevada, opened fire on a crowd of innocent people that were attending the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival on the Las Vegas Strip. Between 10:05 p.m. and 10:15 p.m., Paddock fired more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition from his 32nd floor suite at the Mandalay Bay Hotel, killing 58 and wounding over 500, with the ensuing panic bringing the injury total to 867. About an hour later, Paddock was found dead in his room from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Also, 2 other victims died later as a result of their injuries. Paddock had amassed over 24 firearms and carried them into his suite unnoticed. This incident is the deadliest mass shooting committed by an individual in modern United States history. 31 victims were pronounced dead at the scene, while the other 24 succumbed to their wounds at the hospital, with the last of them dying on October 3rd, 2 days later. A 57-year-old woman from California was paralyzed in the shooting and died November 15th of 2019, more than 2 years later. The San Bernardino County Medical Examiner officially attributed her death to the shooting, though the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department declined to include her in the official death toll. That was nice of you. Okay, here we go. On May 26th, a 49-year-old Nevada woman who had been shot in the leg during the shooting died from complications ensuing from that wound. Again, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police wouldn't add her to the list. You're just such gems out there, aren't you? Okay, so I need to insert something really quick here. Most of you know I had dreams about the Las Vegas shooting. I'm still having dreams, and I'm not sure why I'm still having dreams. Because nothing's really changed in my dreams. So, yeah, I haven't figured that one out yet. Okay. So I was working on this, and I was going to attempt to try to connect with anybody that was at the Harvest Festival. And I had this really pretty young woman come through. So she proceeded to say that she had been at the Harvest 91 Festival. She talked about how much fun she had with Ethan. I'm guessing Ethan's her boyfriend. It wasn't something that I just asked her, but I think it was her boyfriend. She talks about him, her siblings, her mom and dad. And she said she wanted to apologize to them for not making it. And I was like, honey, you don't have to apologize to anybody. You didn't bring this on yourself. This, you don't need to apologize. She wanted to let everyone know she heard their prayers and she appreciated their prayers. She said although she misses her loved ones, she loves where she is and working with kids. So I guess that was something that she really loved. So I'm not sure exactly what she was doing with kids. I should have asked her. Okay, so this was interesting. She went on to say that at a couple points in her life, she felt like she was going to die young. And she said it wasn't anything that she, opened up about it to anybody. It was just something that she just had this feeling. So she went on to say, prior to going to Vegas, I guess this was her first time ever in Vegas, she had a feeling, she said she had a feeling that something big was going to happen. And she said at one point, when she was having that feeling, she also felt like she was going to die. Which I know it sounds so crazy, but so many people have those prophetic feelings. Like they just know it's coming. So she talked about that, and she said, hindsight's 2020, but that she wouldn't change the little time she had in Vegas for anything. So, okay. That was about all I was able to get from her. I don't even know her name, to be honest with you. I think she was Hispanic. But I never got her name. I should have. That was my fault. Then I had a very nice looking African American gentleman coming through. Excuse me. He didn't have much to say. He told me his name was Charlie. And he basically just like smiled and wanted me to acknowledge him. And I said, "Were you at the Harvest Festival?" And he shook his head, yes. And I said, "And you died there?" And he shook his head, yes. So there we go again. At this point in time, while I'm recording this, I haven't looked up and done any research to try to figure out who this little girl was or to try to figure out who this guy was. I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard to figure it out, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to like throw that in there because, you know, I felt like this little girl needed to have a voice. You know, she came through, she needed to have a voice. Okay. So, like I said, I've been continuing to have the dreams. And in the dreams, I see more than one shooter. I'm not going to go over like, you know, all the conspiracy theories and all that. I will just say this. I don't feel that the Las Vegas Metro Police Department or the Las Vegas Bureau of Investigation, I think they're incorrect. There was more than Stephen Paddock. I'm telling you, I saw there's more than Stephen Paddock doing this. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to go too much into that, you know. Yeah. So I decided I was going to try to connect with Stephen Paddock. And I think the reason why I really wanted to try to do this, unfortunately, a lot of it was for selfish reasons because I was hoping if I connected with him, maybe I would figure out why I'm still having the dreams. That didn't work. I'm still having the dreams. Okay. So let me just say that immediately he came through and immediately he was very annoyed and pissed off. And let me just remind you, people, everybody, how we are in life is how we are in death. So if you're an asshole in life, you're an asshole in death. You know what I mean? He's clearly not in a good place. And yeah, he was very, very annoyed and pissed off that I was bothering him. Very antisocial, but you know, I didn't give a crap. I was going to talk to him anyway. I didn't give a shit. So I explained who I was. I said, look, you know, I want to talk to you about what's going on, what happened. Keep in mind, every time I asked him a question, he was like, you know, like he just couldn't be bothered. I mean, what a schmuck. I asked him, how long did you plan the Las Vegas shootings? And immediately he looked at me like I was the stupidest person that ever walked. He was just like, oh my God, you're so dumb. And he said, I have a few things I want to say. If you're going to bother me, then I have a few things I'm going to say. I'm going to set the record straight. So let me just tell you that it amazes me and blows my mind that this man was wealthy and that he got through life the way that he did with this behavior. And the only reason why he did get through life was because he was rich. Keep that in mind. So he said, I want to get this right, okay? He said, quote, the CEOs of these casinos go out of their way for high rollers. They give and give and give, and then if you make any money, they rip it away. Yes, I was pissed. And yes, I wanted the people in Vegas to pay. In the end, I was set up and I'm the one that paid. Close quote. Can I just say here, no, you piece of shit. You're not the one that paid. There were 58 people that physically died, and there were 800 and some that were injured, and you affected every single person. And every single person that was at that venue, you affected their entire family. So you infected thousands of people. You know, because of your behavior, it affected thousands of people. Okay, so let me just put that out there. Yeah, this is kind of shit. So I asked him, I said, so yeah, how do you feel about the 58 people that died and all the lives that were changed and all the people that were injured? And he He smirked. Yeah, he did. He said, I feel nothing. You need to ask the assholes that are responsible for all of this. Okay. I asked who the assholes that were responsible for all of this were, at which point he said, figure it out. So I don't know. I felt him pulling away. So I was like, okay, let me just ask you one more question. He was like, what? You know, of course he was perturbed. And I said, did your girlfriend, Mary Lou, know anything about this or know how you felt concerning all this? And he was like, of course she did. She was my girlfriend. So, I don't know if you all know this, but the Las Vegas Metro Police and the Las Vegas Bureau of Investigation ruled her out, that she was not a suspect, that she didn't have any part of this. I find that hard to believe when, if you're in a relationship with someone and you live with them, generally you know what's going on behind the scenes. So I've always had a bad taste in my mouth for this Mary Lou chick. I don't think she was just this poor little innocent bystander. I think there was a lot more to it. And I'm sorry if any of Stephen Paddock's family sees this. I apologize, but you know what? He was a piece of you know what. And I am not going to... I will apologize for the fact that he's a POS, but I'm not going to apologize for quoting what he said, because that's what he had to say. And I'm sure you knew him better than anybody. You're his family. You know what a jerk he is. And I feel like these poor victims, I can't even imagine what they've gone through. I can't. Yeah, I feel horrible for everybody. You know, this was a really hard one for me, you know, because of the background, because I was there the week before. I had the dream about the shooting, and then it didn't happen. And then I came home. It didn't happen when I was there, which was the iHeart Radio Fest. Then I came home, and the following, you know, a couple days later, which was the following weekend, the shooting happened at the Harvest Festival. And that man, Stephen Paddock, was in the Mandalay Bay when I was there. You know, we stayed in the Luxor, but we were at the Mandalay Bay gambling a lot on that visit. And again, I feel horrible for everyone that was at that venue that day, and for all their families, and all the grief and all the pain that you had to go through. My heart is with you, trust me. Hey guys, so I wanted to add this in. It's later in the day, and there were a couple things that I left out that I thought were probably important to add in. First of all, let me say nothing about this event made any sense. Okay. It still doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm sure if you ask any of the victims or any of the people that were there, they're going to say the same thing. I mean, it just makes no sense. These are my opinions. I connected with Paddock. If you don't like this or you don't agree with my opinion, just click out. It's really simple. I did want to say, I don't want this to just be about Stephen Paddock. I don't feel like he deserves that kind of respect. It should be more about all the victims. And when I say the victims, I mean every single person that was there that night, whether they were working or at the concert, they're victims. And I wanted to talk about the heroes, right? The police risking their lives, you know, running towards the shooting and trying to get people to safety, and you know, doing CPR and shielding people, and concert goers that aided with CPR and that picked people up and physically carried them out of the venue to safety after they'd been shot, to people that were driving by that allowed bodies to be put into their vehicles, their personal vehicles, to get them safely to the hospital. The taxi cab drivers, the Uber drivers, the Lyft drivers, you know, it goes on to security guards. Regardless of what you think about the security guard at the Mandalay Bay, he got shot. The kid got shot, you know. The firefighters, the EMTs, the nurses, the doctors, the private citizens at the hospital that just happened to be there. And when the influx of all the people, the victims came in, they took over and started helping. You know, there are so many people that as a result, only 58 people died because of all the people that came together, and while I don't appreciate the hashtag Vegas Strong that was used for political gain with some of the politicians in Vegas, I love Las Vegas, and I was just it makes me happy to see how everybody came together. That's the way it should be. A community should be like that. So be nice, be kind, stay safe, stay healthy. Again, people, I don't know when anything's going to go back to normal, but hopefully soon. um yeah, that about does it for me. Bye, guys.